Okay, guys, so why don't we talk a little bit about your trip to Universal McCann? So we realized that Universal McCann is a really good agency for a wide variety of marketing tools. But I'm curious, when we listened to Mr. Marshall's presentation yesterday, he talked about how marketing in that major industry now intersects with athletics. And he talked about how you have all those amazing stats, right? Like, I mean, when you heard some of those stats, what were you thinking?
So
Which one stood out to you?
So like as he said, he was a basketball player and he couldn't make pro. It was his main goal, and actually turned out that after he ruptured his ACL, he had to do something about his life. So he pursued his potential dream of going to the marketing industry, and then having a job, and lately having the job on Universal McCann. So I can relate to that because I'm a soccer player here and my main goal is actually to be pro. But if not, then I have something to do in my life. I have to have a plan B. And you know, even though I will fight as hard as I can to be pro, I never know about my future. So I have to grind and actually have a plan B.
Yeah. So what about the way the presentation went? What did you guys enjoy about it? We heard the stats. What else was appealing to you, think?
Well, me personally, it was the stats, because like I never knew it was that much of an astronomical number. That is that much players that play in high school, but it's only 0.0001% that actually go to the league.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a small number, isn't it? I mean, but doesn't this whole idea of how marketing plays a role in athletics? He talks about how there's this funnel, right? There's all these people that help professional athletes become who they are. You know, does that kind of expand your reach on what you think you can do too?
Yeah, like I know that since I want to be a pro football, like how Carl said, but like if I don't make it, there's always like hundreds of other different types of jobs that I could pursue that will still be based around the same sport that I love, which is soccer. So like me, I want to be a physiotherapist at the same time if I don't become pro. So knowing that there's more jobs other than physiotherapy, like hundreds more, like it gives me a good chance to be in the same field that I love.
Yeah.
So it's inspiring.
What about you, Brandon?
Well, I don't have a specific sport that I want to go pro in, but it was interesting listening to how he basically marketed the idea of having a plan B.
Yeah.
And showing how important that was, as he was a perfect example of how it's a good idea to always have a plan B, just in case.
Right. So, Joe, you know in our class we talked a lot about like telling stories. What was the story you think Mr. Marshall was telling us yesterday?
The story I think he tried telling us was, you know, for like example, like he put Kobe, Cristiano Ronaldo, and LeBron James' face on the projector. Now everybody knows who they are, you know, and he put another face following their faces, and he asked us who are those people, and we didn't know at all. You know, you don't see the person behind the mask. You know, you don't see the person that's helping them financially. You know, and we have to pay attention to stuff like that because as much as LeBron, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Kobe are making money, as much as their money is like fluctuating, their manager is also helping them with that, you know, and they're actually getting paid top dollars just for that too. So the storyline of you know, I know one thing that he said on his story was, I think 5 people were all-stars, and 3 of them were gonna get drafted. You know, so he knew in himself he wasn't gonna get drafted. So he said, all right, why can't I help one of those 3 people get into like draft? You know, so you see somebody like help you know, and they know the knowledge behind it, so that's easier for them to help you instead of you getting someone else that doesn't know how to do it as better as they can.
Yeah, so it's a story of it's not just a professional athlete, but there's a team, a system that works to create them, right? So you guys, we work as a team here in class all the time. How do you see our team building skills? Do you think people at Universal McCann work in teams like that too?
No, yeah, for sure. I think like if you see them, they're always with each other. Even when you have like one person by themselves, they'll get up and go to another group and like, you know, work with them. Even if they're all in silent, they're all like around each other. You know, it's the presence of people around you that help you, you know, feel wanted. You know, if you're sitting by yourself, you're gonna be like, okay, you know, it's boring. But when you're with other people, you like that time with other people. And team building is something that I think we, as a whole group in this class, have done way better with, because, you know, coming into the class, I didn't know some of the people, and like hearing their stories and connecting with them actually made me feel better to like trust them. So team building was way easier after that.
Yeah, it's the same. Like at Universal McCann, they'll be like 10 to 20 people working on one advertisement for one business, but they all have a different input into like the final construction of the advertisement they're trying to make. So it compares to us. So like you have different people on music. You have Brandon who does like the videography and the background stuff, and then you have some people who do the acting. So like us come together for one course, like similar to Universal McCann.
Yeah. Can you see yourself doing what Universal McCann does in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah.